Okay, so we are live. So we stopped, I think, at there she comes. Good morning, Lata.
Good morning.
Morning, Lata.
Morning.
So we come to the 328th verse, the fourth simile.
That is Sankalpam.
Sankalpa. Yeah. Sankalpam varjayet tasmat sarva anarthasya karanam apathyani hi vastuni vyadhi grastaha yataha utsrijet. So this sankalpa that I want to enjoy with the senses has to be given up. Sarva anarthasya karanam, that is the root cause for all the problems or things which happens. Apathyani hi vastuni, indeed, like certain foods are prohibited. Patya is what should be eaten and what should not be eaten. Basically, it's a word of Ayurveda. Apatya means eating something which is prohibited. So in the same way, senses in touch with sense objects the mind keeps on eating, and because of that it keeps on moving from one life to another. Vyadhi grastaha yataha utsrijet, to victim of a disease. So the disease is birth, decay and death. That is the disease, and hunger is the biggest disease what we have. Hunger and thirst, and all the things we are doing is for that hunger and thirst only. So it's better to be avoided, meaning moving from senses to senses. If it is avoided, then the food ends there. That is, the supply chain ends there. The supply and demand. The demand is on the senses and the supply is the sense object. So if you cut the supply, the demand is not there. Or if you cut the demand, the supply is not there. So yeah.
It says Sankalpam Varjayet. That means we should not do any Sankalpa related to the Vastu.
Yes, that's correct. Correct.
So now you take a case. There is a court case is there. Some disputed property. Now you have to think about that, how to fight the case, because you are always perfect in that. You'll be keep thinking, and then you try to give all those points to your lawyer, and you will try to win the case. So in this situation, continuously that court case will be there in front in your yochana. Throughout, maybe for a week or months, based on how much you are losing. More you are losing, worries will be high. If you are not losing anything, then your worries will be low. Now, this sloka says, don't do chintana of what you earn or what you lose. Worry. So that means don't worry. Just for a court case, you need some points. You write those points and give it to your lawyer or explain to lawyer.
Correct.
Can I say that is the right way of doing, or don't even do any thinking?
No, it is not like that. See, we can take three methods, which we already spoken. So depending upon what is our mentality. The first method of Rama, the second method of Krishna, the third method of Vedanta. If you take the first method, you are not connected with anything, even though you are a householder. So you do what is required. There is a dispute of the property, whatever details have to be given, give it, because you know you cannot have any land, or nobody can possess any land. It's only the paper what is being possessed, not the land. Nobody can buy or sell the land. You can buy and sell the paper, but not the land. The land remains wherever it is. It doesn't go along with you. So that knowledge being there, you just play the game, meaning you just play your role. So that is like Rama, as a Gruhastha, but yet liberated. Okay, this is the first way of living. And the second way of living, like Krishna, You do everything for the role, but don't get associated with the role yourself. So you can do like that. Now if the mind is not able to do that, then you become a monastic, a monk, and do it, meaning there is no need for you to do that business of giving anything about the property. You give up your property and go. So there's no need for attending court case or summons and all that. That is not required, because the mind will start attaching to the senses. So I want to cut that out, so I become a monastic, and I don't engage myself in any one of these activities. So I become a monastic or a monk and do what is required for that. So there are three clear ways where one can get liberation. So one can take the Rama route through Yoga Vasista, and another person can choose the Krishna route by implementing all that what is said in Bhagavad Gita. And the third one is a monastic route through the Uttara Mimamsa, which is Vedanta. So the choice is to the person depending upon his or her mentality. Let's say I have a mentality where I cannot let go of the family life, meaning I cannot play that role properly. I feel that I'm really the husband, and I have really the son, and then I have really the home, and I have really the property and all that. I feel it is real. That is Jagat Satya. And then in that case, I need to forcefully break that. So what I need to do is give up, meaning become a sannyasi, basically, not in the mind, but physically first, and wear the yellow robes, and then go away and find a teacher who can help me with removing the mental kleshas which are about family and all that. So that is for people who cannot let go in the mind, meaning the family attachment in the mind. So for them, monastic life is the best life. So then there is no court case, there is no property, there is nothing that needs to be done, there is no family obligation, there is no need to work or job or whatever it is. So it is not required. But if a person is capable of cutting it off in his mind or her mind and knows that it is just a drama, then he can be a householder and continue doing whatever he is doing, but he is completely off from whatever is happening. Just like what Rama did. If we go through the Ramayana, we will find that what is so great about Rama, because it is a general life that there's a property or there's a kingdom, and the person loses the kingdom, and then he goes 14 years into Vanavasa, and he know that there is nothing called as a golden deer, and yet he goes in search of it and all that. So it looks just a story, but if somebody were to go through Yoga Vasista and understand what is Rama, then only we can understand the Rama. Because at the age of 13, he knew exactly what is life. And based upon Vasista, he continued doing whatever was supposed to be done. So he did not run away. He chose to have a wife, have 2 children, take care of the kingdom and all that, and then ultimately lose everything, because he knew anyway everything is going to go away. So he never got attached to it. So that is difficult. If we feel it is difficult, then we have to go by what Krishna says, that you do your role, whatever role you have taken. So if you are a person who is supposed to fight the court case, go and fight the court case. Don't have any attachment to the property, but you go by the dharma. So somebody has wrongly trying to take your property, so you go and fight it. Do whatever is required to fight the case, but don't get attached. That's what Krishna is all about. and let's say 1 and 2 is not possible at all for me, then you take monastic life. So that's the answer to this. So if we look from Shankaracharya point of view, he talks about monastic life. He doesn't want anybody to be in the family life at all because he is a monastic.
Yeah, depends on what life you are going to choose. But
Yeah.
at least we should be similar to, if you are Grahastha, then follow Rama, right? Rama route.
Yeah, you will get liberated with being like a Rama.
Yeah.
It is possible. Nobody needs to run away from the family and go somewhere, sit under a tree or whatever it is.
So just do actions, don't worry. That's what it says.
Yes, absolutely. Do the action. Why one should be worried about what is happening? There is only drama only. There's nothing really anything happening. See, office is a drama because there are roles, and in the role somebody will do well, somebody will not do well. If somebody is doing well, you promote him. If somebody is not doing well, you either caution him or you send him home or something like that. And the project keeps coming, the challenges keeps coming. You know for sure that the product is not real because it has end of life ultimately. Otherwise, nobody would keep on adding new and new technology. So you know for sure it is something which will not work. So instead of talking about the office work in home or when you are alone, use that for your liberation and just do office work as what a person would do if he were to go to a hospital and then he is a doctor. He sees hundreds of patients and comes back. He doesn't have to think about anything after coming back home. In the same way, we can do that. Absolutely possible. So you can be earning and you can be doing whatever you are doing because that is coming out of your punya phala. It is not that you are doing something about it. Let's say if you lose your job, fine, that is what you were supposed to be happening at this point in time. Just enjoy that. You don't have a job right now. If you want to apply, you apply. You don't want to apply, don't apply. But there is no worry that I lost my job, or there is no happiness that I am still in the job. I will tell you another story which has happened yesterday. So I got a opportunity in Fidelity Investments as an agile coach, and they want me to join at the earliest. Okay, so what should I do? Should I be in ABB or should I move out of ABB? Right, so this is what it is. So then I considered there is earning is earning. It doesn't matter whether I go and earn in Fidelity or earn in ABB. It's fine. Things are happening. I don't have any complaints at all. So why should I do something extraordinary? So I told that person that unfortunately at this moment I cannot join or take the decision of joining. So I let go of that. That's the decision. Or I could have removed this and added that. So it depends on the mindset, meaning what makes one internally happy. So there also I'll get payment, here also I'll get payment, there also is agile, here also it's agile. So what difference does it make? Nothing. So stick on to whatever is happening because it doesn't matter how much you are earning. It's just for food. Just let go of it. Or
So it depends on your priorities in life.
yes,
For example, your priority is the spiritual. Whichever is more convenient for your spiritual growth, you will choose, right?
yes, exactly.
That means you don't have any desires of wealth, and also you don't want to have any headaches of unnecessary office pressure taking away your so much of time.
Yes,
So that will help.
that
So
will
you are okay wherever you are.
I'm okay wherever I am. So let us say if tomorrow, after this 6 months, that is June 2022, if ABB were to say that, okay, thank you very much, we don't want to continue your contract, and that's it. So at that time, if something comes, I'll take it up. Otherwise, I don't even go forward. This is all coming through references. So somebody referred and then they called me. So if that at that time, if that is supposed to come, it will come. So why should I do something right now when I am having a very comfortable living? Let's say if I don't get anything at all after June 2022, fair, it's even more better, because now I can spend my whole time from morning till evening doing what I am supposed to be doing. So there is no worry. So whether I get a new job, there is no worry. Whether I don't get a job also, there is no worry. At least to my conscience, I have no worry on that. Meaning I'm not expecting anything to happen there. Because if I compare between ABB and Fidelity, they might give me more money, but it is just money. It doesn't matter whether more money or less money. It is required for a living. So I am comfortable living right now. So why should I do something which is going to be something different? So it's fine. Absolutely fair. So I spoke to Lata, and then I took a decision that there is no need for me to jump into something else. So I left it. I don't have any regret that I should have joined Fidelity. It would have given me a better experience, a rich experience and all that. So this is one way of doing. Another way of doing is that stop everything. You don't work, you don't do anything, and then you live your family life and become a monk.
So people like you are also reached this stage. If you get it, fine. If you don't get it, that is also fine.
Yes, absolutely. I have no problem at all in either way.
And whatever is needed for your life, that minimum things you have already secured. So nothing much to worry about wealth creation.
There is no need, actually. See, the only thing is that if my son's medical, let's say he wants to do MD, and that is going to cost a good amount of money, that is the only thing which is not bothering me. I have to do something for it. Otherwise, if he is completing his Ayurveda...
Yeah, actually, that is also not a worry that I am telling. See, the way the life is there in front of you.
Yes, there's no
because
worry.
Your spiritual approach, based on that individual jiva, it has got punyam, papam and combination.
Yes.
So you are just an environment or a platform providing based on the strength of your platform.
Correct. So what he is going to do is not my problem. So let's say he might complete his BA, MS and then do his MD, or he might not even do his MD. But that is not my problem. So at present, I'm happy. So I am today, if I were to see, I don't have to worry about next 5 years or anything. I'm happy right now.
Planning will be there, proper planning, because we have that intellect, knowledge, experience, etc.
Yes.
But the result, you are not worried.
Exactly. This is exactly what Rama did. So he planned everything, and he did what he's supposed to do at that moment. So his wife said, "Why don't you get me the golden deer?" He went and tried finding golden deer.
In Rama's case, it is because Rama was like that, and he has taken everything like in a very, very positive note. But Dasharatha, in his last days, he was worrying, and finally he died.
Correct.
That means Dasharatha and Rama are just opposite poles with respect to spirituality.
Exactly. That is true. That is true. So if you by chance read Yoga Vasishtha, you will come to know what is Rama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a big volume book, but in case, let's say, how to be a Grahastha and also get liberated, you can read Yoga Vasishtha. Okay, so you will know what to be done and what shouldn't be done. That's for sure. So if your mind sticks to that, okay, what is wrong in working? What is wrong in having a family life? What is wrong in that, right? The first thing we need to know whether there is something wrong in that or there's no wrong in that. So let's say I get to an opinion that there's nothing wrong in having a family life, or there's nothing wrong in earning. So then what is my, is there any possibility of liberation, or it is not at all possible? Then in that case, we can look at Yoga Vasistha, which clearly lays down what you need to do as a Grihastha.
Yeah, but here, a Grihastha stage, from there if you are going to sannyasa stage, vanaprasthashama and sannyasa, that is the progress in the spirituality, because you want to be away from your grihasthas, that transaction world. But early age, if you get that knowledge, that you will not even get married, right? What is the necessity then? Because you are already there in the vanaprasthashama in the early stage, means the mindset.
No, the mind.
Grihasthashama you are entering because you are not matured to become that sannyasi.
No, it is physically what we are talking. It is mental. So you can be in a family life, but yet a sannyasi in the mind.
So what is the necessity of family life when your mindset is already sannyasi? There is no need.
That is correct. But now that is not the case, right? So there's no point in going back and beating oneself saying that I shouldn't have got married.
No. My question is not that. My question is,
Yes.
I'm not talking about what we know. I'm talking about if this is already proved, this is already known, we have to preach our next generation that you don't get married because you are unnecessarily get into a bandhana and then you will try to come out of that bandhana. Why? It is waste.
No, it is not like that. That is what the Yoga Vasistha is all about. So in that, Vasistha explains to Rama why he should do this. Okay, so it is an individual choice. So let's say he tells Rama why he should get married and take care of the family and other things, and also he talks about why sannyasi is there. So you decide now. Okay, and then Rama feels that it will be good for him to do whatever is required for that kingdom rather than running away. And he becomes a sannyasi forever, but doing everything. It's the most difficult thing to do. He doesn't get attached to his children. He doesn't get attached to his wife. He doesn't get attached to kingdom. He doesn't get attached to anything. And yet he is doing everything. It's a fantastic learning experience of Rama. It's very difficult to do it. Okay. So that's one thing. If that clicks for a person, fair enough. There's no need for somebody to run away somewhere. But let's say it is not working for me. Then I need to look at Bhagavad Gita, because that makes sense in terms of role and definitions of roles. Rama is all about Grihastha, whereas Krishna is all about the role, what you play. Okay, now let's say that is also not working. Then what should I do? Then the third one is Bhakti Yoga or Bhakti. You surrender to someone, some deity or some god or something like that, and treat that as a guiding pole for everything. So if you will get to a stage of when that deity or whatever, that stone or whatever you have starts to talk to you, you go by what it says. And that is what the Dasa Sahitya is all about. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all that, it's all about that. So that is another way of doing, where you surrender and do whatever is going to be happening. Just like in the case of Bhakta Kumbhara. I think you would have seen the movie also.
Yeah.
So he was a Grihastha. He did whatever came in his way. He was so devoted to that Vithala that he did not even think anything else other than that. So that's another way of doing. Or these three doesn't work, then you become a monastic. Leave everything and go. There are 4 ways of doing things. So it depends on my nature, what suits me. So one needs to investigate oneself at this stage. What is my mentality? Rather than beating oneself up, we need to arrive at a conclusion that, okay, my mentality is a mentality of monastic. Okay, I will go. Or my mentality is a mentality of role play. Okay, I'll play the roles. Or my mentality is all about being a family person. Okay, do that. Or my mentality is full of bhakti, self-surrender. Okay, do that. All the four will lead you to the same destination. But if I choose that, I need to follow exactly what is written there. Then it works. So 329th verse is that only. That is what it is.
Okay.
And with
Let's
that,
go ahead.
yeah, we'll go ahead with that. And we'll also end. That ends the chapter on
Correct.
what should be done. So he says, Savadhan, be alert. Ataha pramadat na paraha asti mrityuhu vivekinaha brahmavidha samadhau samahitaha siddhim upaiti samyak samahitatma bhava savadhanaha. To conclude, ataha pramadat, inadvertence, in meditation, that is in your daily living, if you are in pramada, na paraha asti mrityuhu, there is no greater than death. Vivekinaha brahma vidaha samadhau, for the man of discrimination, the knower of the Brahman is meditation. So if we go to the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he talks about doing yajna of Brahman. So if that is being done, then there is no problem at all. Samahitaha siddhim upaiti samyak. For such a man accomplished in abidance, the success is definitely assured. Samahitatma bhava savadanaha. Be a man in the mind which is ever alert and that does not go towards the senses and the sense object. That is what ends our journey so far. So from 330 verse onwards, what we need to do is like this. First, we have to invoke Viveka. So that's a practice. So we have to go back to the first chapter where it talks about Viveka. Then we have to look at the Vairagya. These two are the two opposite poles that needs to be erected. Then we have to come into the Shad Sampatti, which is starting with Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Samadhana and Shraddha. 6 of these have to be established completely. And the fourth pole, this is the third pole, and the fourth pole will be the Mumukshatattva. In whichever you have taken, whether you want to take the first one, the Rama route, or the second one, Krishna route, or the third one, the Bhakti route, or the fourth one, monastic route, whichever route you would like to take, you need to have Mumukshatattva, urgency for liberation all the time. It doesn't matter whether 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So when we set that foundation and we are able to achieve the 5 koshas, that is the Annamaya kosha, the Manomaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha, then we can take up this 330th verse, because here you are going to start experiencing liberation. So theoretically this is not possible. This is only possible practically. So you will now experience Kaivalyam, and till that thing happens in all the 4 of us, that we have set the foundation, the 4 foundation properly, sadhana chatustaya, there is no point in talking from 330 verse onward. So I have some ideas to do it, is that we can go through the shlokas ourselves and meet once in the other day. That is, today is Thursday. We'll again meet up on Monday, then we'll meet up on Wednesday, then we meet up on Friday to check how is our progress, whether we are finding any obstacles in the sadhana chatushtaya. As an example, that shama and dama, how each one of us are going to address that. Whether one day is sufficient or you require more days or a week or whatever. So once that is achieved to a greater degree, we meet up to discuss on how it has gone, and each one of us have to present that how they have worked out, meaning to say that what is your strategy on eyes not meeting the sight, or ear not meeting the sound, or the tongue not meeting the taste, like that. So what is that your strategy? I have already shared my strategy some time ago of what I do, but now it is a time for all the four of us to do it individually and write it down, what is the experience, and then we meet up and we can discuss. Now if you don't want to write it down, it is okay, but we need to share and discuss and what is the experience, and that will tell us when we can continue on 330 verse onwards. Is that acceptable?
Complete silence.
Yeah, it's complete silence.
What do you expect out of us?
What I expect out of all the four of us, including me, is that there's no point in doing 330th verse because it starts with Kaivalya. So this cannot be done theoretically. It's not possible. Meaning, I can read these shlokas, there is absolutely no problem, but that really doesn't help all the four of us at all. Because you cannot intellectually understand this, the entire from 330th verse onwards to 340, 350, 360, whatever future, and then it goes into the what happens after you are liberated. So unless we know what is liberation and we have achieved liberation, there is no point in talking about what happens after liberation. Okay, so for that reason, what I feel is we shouldn't continue from 330 right now. We should work out on sadhana chatushtaya. So what we need to do is, we need to start from Viveka and Vairagya, then take the Shad Sampatti from Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Samadhana, Shraddha, and have the fourth pole, which is the Mumukshatva. So what we do is, today is Thursday, we meet Monday to discuss upon how we are implementing Viveka, let's say.
Okay.
What is our experience in Viveka? So that means, how do you discriminate between the real and unreal? What is that you are doing individually? That is, what is that I am doing, or what is Padma Shri doing, what is Lata doing, and what is Bhatt doing? Okay, so we share that information on Monday, Viveka. Then we will come to know how good are we in Viveka. Brahman Satya Jagat Mithya. How much have we really worked out on that? Okay, that will tell us how long we should take a break. Meaning, let's say we meet on Monday and we know that we did not get time at all to work out on Viveka. So should we meet on Wednesday, or should we meet next Monday? Or that is the question. So we need to take a book or take whatever we want to take and have a parallel activity. Just like the office work, we need to do this assignment also.
Yeah.
Then we get into the 330th verse, which talks about Kaivalya.
Is it only after Viveka we are coming to
No,
Kaivalya or after?
no. After
Chaturthaya?
Viveka, after Vairagya, after the Shat Sampatti and Mumukshatva. All the four have to be completely practiced. So we are going to meet up.
Once it is practiced, will you be in ABB? If
You will
follow
be in
on
ABB.
Rama route.
Yeah, you will be in ABB. It's not that you will not be in ABB, but you will be a different person in ABB. That's all.
Uh,
So let's journey together, and you will see for yourself whether you will be in ABB or
okay,
you will
let
not
us
be in ABB.
start with the Viveka. That's interesting. Let us start with the Viveka
Yeah.
experience.
So what needs to be done is that we need to look at what is Viveka. So you need to search not only in Vivekachudamani but elsewhere also. What is Viveka? What is Brahman Satya? What is Jagat Mithya? So you can refer to Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha, Aparoksha Anubhuti, or wherever you want to search, or even Bhagavad Gita. It doesn't matter. You need to have complete clarity on what is Brahman and what is meaning of Satya and what is Jagat and what is Mithya there. So that you need to.
You are asking us to practice means one is self-practice. Second is read books, understand and practice and talk.
Yes, absolutely.
But we have already understood from your this
Right.
explanation. Huh?
Correct. Okay, now
Okay. You are talking again brush up that. Okay.
you brush up that to see whether your understanding is right. See, now you have a particular understanding on Brahman. Okay, and you have particular understanding on Jagat. Now, when you say, or when all the four of us say Brahman, Satya, Jagat, Mithya, how are we going to live with that? Right? So
Yeah,
that is
correct,
the
correct.
Vivek. So what we do is, when we meet up on Monday, we will be able to discuss, each one of us individually is going to present what he or she did with relation to Brahman, Satya, Jagat, Mithya.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to share the experiential knowledge of ours.
Yes. And that will tell us how far have we come. Right. So we can
Okay.
we can discuss, debate, do whatever is
That is
required.
very interesting exercise.
Yes. And then we will, if that works, let's say Viveka works, then we come to Vairagya. So again we have to work it out. What is Vairagya? Then you come into Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. Then Mumukshatva. When we are ready with that, your complete, what I can say, personality will change. Then we are ready for 3:30.
Okay.
Then
See,
you
what
have
I can see as such behaviors, spiritual behaviors, is currently in the political scenario with the Modi. I am able to see a few things.
right.
Okay, and he is already a sannyasi.
Correct.
I was thinking he's not a family person.
Correct.
And the people with the family and practicing this are very rare
Yes.
because they have that moha to their own family.
Correct.
That with the moha, even though they have inside, that is not visible outside.
Right.
Yeah, I think if you practice, as you mentioned, like Rama, nothing like that. Not only spiritual growth, all kind of growth will happen.
Yes. So
Because you are always a man of perfect.
exactly. So it doesn't matter whether you have a family or no family, right?
Yes.
So we have four things. We can be like Rama, we can be like Krishna, we can be like in Bhakti, or we can be like Shankara, monastic.
Yeah, I think the best example is Sriyam now. He's a family person.
Correct.
He's a perfect spiritual and also family.
Right. Absolutely.
That is what is there in front of us currently. Otherwise, all these gurus, even like Sadhguru is a family. Yeah, he is also family now. Ravi Shankar is not family. Most other people are without family.
Yeah,
Yeah, Abdul Kalam. Abdul Kalam is another example. He also done a lot of practice. That's the reason anything he speaks, it is like Vedavakya.
right.
Okay, I think good exercise. We will start thinking in that direction.
Yes. So if we don't have anything more to discuss, we are ending it. Padma Shri, Lata, you want to add something, or is this a good plan, or because it's becoming like I and but only?
Yeah. So anyway, it's a good plan. So at least we are doing something. Even if you are not able to do continuously, if you are able to do at least for some time, that itself is an achievement.
Yes.
So and then sharing means it will have a multiplier effect.
Yes, absolutely.
So then the real satsanga can happen.
Yes. Now it has become one-sided, right? I preach and you listen. So that is not a good way. So we need to have discussion on how each one of us are doing it. So
Yeah, that's correct. So that is interesting, and you'll get different perspectives. Otherwise,
Yes.
you yourself have to think and then do something. So then, if something is working for any three of us, then you get more confidence. Okay. But
Yes.
for you, I think if something works for you, then we may not think that it will work for us. But then if any for us, three of us, anything works, then we'll have more confidence. Okay,
Correct.
this approach will move forward. So then the real satsanga can happen.
yes, absolutely. So we will still journey. It's not that it's we are ending the journey here, but we are just ensuring that we practice and come back.
Yeah. And I think all of us are practicing in some way or the other. We just have to just kind of organize and tell it in a proper way. That's all.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's not that we are just listening and going away. No, that is not true. But yet we need, by now we all are realized people. That's all what I wanted to say. So we shouldn't have any doubt on realization. So it is better to check oneself up on the on the 9 things what Shankaracharya mentions, and work it out and come back.
Yeah. So that is good. So first one is Brahman Satya Jagat Mithya.
Yes. How much have we understood that?
And how deep have you understood? Yes.
Exactly. So that will be on Monday. So tomorrow we'll take a break to work out. So in the office work also we need to look at Brahman Satya Jagat Mithya. At home also we need to do that Viveka. Okay. So Nitya Anitya. That has to be very clear in our mind. What is Nitya and what is Anitya? And everything we do. From now, that is the time we end our talk, and to the time we meet up on Monday. So we get Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Till we meet up on Monday, we should have practiced Viveka completely. Whether we go through books or we go through whatever we want to go through, it is fine. But in everything we need to use Viveka.
Right.
So Lata, it will be a good thing for you to watch your mother and your brother and sister and all that using this approach, Viveka.
Yes.
And the challenges what you're facing in the office plus the challenges what you're facing personally also.
Yeah.
So, and your daughter and husband are there in Bangalore, so that is another challenge. So how would you see Nitya and Anitya? So you are in a better position than any three of us.
I'm already looking at it. Yes.
Okay. So we three might not have that kind of an experience, whereas you are experienced. You are seeing death from close quarter, and you're also seeing the anxiety and worry of your brother, sister, and father, and you're also looking at the worry what you have in terms of the your daughter eating or not, or what should be ordered, etc., and your husband and your home, and the majority of the time you are going to spend in the office work. So that is another worrying factor. So you are much blessed and much better placed to work out on Brahman Satya Jagat Mithya. it is good. So let's see what happens on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Padma Shri, you have anything?
No, I do not. It's okay. So,
Are you fine with this?
yeah.
Okay. Fine then. Then we don't have anything. We'll stop and we will work out on the first one, Viveka.
Sure, Vilas. I'll go to Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha, Bhagavad Gita. It's
Okay.
a good time. I can do that.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Then understand the situations, what is there in front of me.
Yes. So
and
you
how I
can.
am dealing. I have many things in front of me. I will go through that and I'll try to see that whether I have used that. What approach? Is it the normal approach or this Viveka approach? Viveka is a Buddhi related, right?
Yeah, Viveka is Buddhi related, so it is intellect
Discrimination.
only. Yeah, it is the intellect, but you are sharpening the intellect
Yeah, correct.
to begin with, and then drop the intellect. So we have already dropped the intellect. Now we are coming back to intellect.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's
Even this is really required for us.
yes. Okay, what else? We still have 9 minutes left.
I think you have given enough tips.
Yeah, for the last 3 years, Vilas has been giving tips and tips and tips. I think now we are all learned. So we have to start using it.
One thing is true, whatever I do, the moment my mind starts worrying, parallelly it is looking from spiritual angle, same worries. That is there in each and every worry, or even every happiness, both.
Yeah, that's true. See, actually, even though it appears that we are not practicing, that is not strictly true, because every day we are spending this 1 hour, and then Vilas has told many things in different ways with examples and all that. So some of it is definitely absorbed, and we may be picking up some of it and then also implementing it unknowingly. We may not be aware of it, but I am sure we are all doing that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I can vouch that my mind has transformed from whatever I was before to now. There is a lot of drastic changes there in my mind, and I don't think I can go back to my previous mindset. So that is there is a lot and lots of changes are there. So the transformation is happening. I can't say it is completely happened, but it is happening, and there is a change.
Yes, absolutely. Lata, the way you are managing today about your mother and also your family and this one, it certainly shows up. It's not.
Correct. So it appears that I'm worrying or anxiety. I have zero worry and zero anxiety. To be very, very honest.
Yes. So you have won over that thing.
That is a great achievement. In this kind of situation, no worry is a wonderful achievement.
Yeah, so I'm just doing what needs to be done. So they asked me to stay at home, so I'm staying. So today they said, okay, I should go there, so I'm going. So, so that's only the thing. So I'm not that two things are not there. That much I can say.
Okay, Vilas, in that case, we have 5 minutes grace time for us to do our personal work now.
Okay. So we'll meet up on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you on
Thank you. Bye.